Welcome into another edition of the Plains Truth here with Auburn golf coach Nick Clinard. And first, just there's a wall of trophies behind us.
Not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad. And you've had a lot of those this year.
Yeah, not bad. We've had 7 of them so far.
Yeah, I think you knew coming in. We talk a lot. I think you knew coming into this year that you had depth, talent, all those things.
Yeah.
But to see it manifest itself and come together, how much fun is it?
It's a lot of fun. I think it starts with culture, though. That locker room over there, the culture is just fabulous. And their connectivity, the vision that we preach, I think they believe in it, they share it, they have a greater purpose every time they come to practice and play and compete. And, I think that's what creates, when you have the talent and you have the depth, I think that's what creates these, is that connectivity and that culture of the program.
Yeah, because, there's more than just 5 golfers that can win. You got a bunch of them, but competition, it creates itself. But you also have to be willing to go, hey, okay, I didn't earn it this time. Somebody else, you go win it. Yeah. That's something that takes a little bit of special something.
Sound like a coach.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Listen, we tell them all the time that everything's earned. Nothing's given in life, whether it be your degree, whether it be your golf game, whatever it is. Like, you have to earn it, and you got to earn it every week. Next week, this coming week, tomorrow's the practice round for SECs. Like, it's a new week. What we've done in the past, that's great. Pat yourself on the back, gives you some confidence. But you got to go earn it this week too.
Yeah, and they say in football it's everybody remembers November. In basketball it's March and April. Yeah. Well, in golf season it's now, right? This is the time that everything points toward it.
Yeah, it is. And I told them, hey, go play like athletes. To quote Dr. Rotella, the great sports psychologist, you play like an athlete or you play like an uptight nerd. And we're going to go play like athletes. We're going to have fun, and we're going to go compete as hard as we can and see what happens.
Just a little bit about and in the SECs, these are courses that you play a lot. SEC, how long has it been in
2001.
So
I think it's been at Seaside since 2001.
Yeah.
What a great venue, though.
Correct.
A great place to go play and compete.
Yeah, so you get a chance to go back. Several of these guys have played there. You've obviously sent teams there. How beneficial is that? But of course, it's the same. Every team has done it, so it's the same thing. But how beneficial is it for a team that is playing with a lot of confidence?
I think it's huge. I think anytime you have confidence, it's just the number one predictor of success in life. I don't care if it's sports or business world or whatever, it's self-confidence. It's the number one predictor of success, and our guys have a lot of that. They have a lot of moxie. I wouldn't say they're arrogant, but they believe in each other, and they believe in the brand, they believe in themselves, and it's a big deal. I think it is beneficial when you have a senior-laden team, when you go play the same place every year, because they know different wind directions, they know what to expect. Our biggest thing is just go have fun and go compete. We have the talent, we have the skill, and if we just go play our game, we're going to be fine.
You mentioned senior-laden team. That's you have some, but
we
you
have
got
some.
a lot of young guys.
We have some young dudes too.
You hear it in other sports where you got to go, hey, look, I'm going to go recruit and try to get more talented guys than you. You've done that where you're going.
You're always
hey, look,
trying to do
that's
that,
it.
right? You're trying to upgrade the roster.
That's it.
I don't care if it's football, basketball, baseball, golf, whatever.
That's it. That's always the goal. And you've been able to do that and create that competition inside it. But you've done it with some young guys that have really stepped up and performed well.
We're rolling 2 freshmen this week. We have arguably one of the best players, if not the best player in the country, in Jackson Coyven, and he's up for all those national awards. And Brendan Valdez, the junior, he's played like a first-team All-American too. But we're rolling Josiah Gilbert too as a freshman too. His skill set's through the roof. He's got PGA Tour skill, and he'll be making his second tournament in the starting 5 next week. We believe in him, we trust him, and he's going to play very well.
Yeah. How much then do you lean on those older guys that are in there?
A lot. Like Alex Vogelsong's going in the 6th spot because he's a leader, he's mature, he's a captain. He speaks, people listen. He just brings that aura of comfort and maturity to the team and to the program, and we wouldn't be where we are today without Alex.
Yeah. When you look at the program overall, it's going to be a long, long way. We're sitting in this building.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yes. But to see the things that have happened, both men's and women's, to see the growth and progress, the building, the facilities, all that stuff. What's it feel like to drive up here every day knowing, hey man, this is still a work in progress, but how far things have come? Well,
I think sometimes you have to take a step back. You got to reflect, right? And you got to pinch yourself almost every time the blessing and the privilege to walk in this building and coach at Auburn and see what we have, And I'm always proud to say that this is all thanks to our donors. I mean, I think athletics has paid like $50,000 towards what we have, and we have a phenomenal facility outside, and it's a place for our guys to not only attract the best players in the country, but to develop players, whether it be the men and the women, and we've been able to do that on both sides of the program, and I think that speaks volumes to Auburn, the support, the community, and the people that just love golf too.
Yeah, you're talking about developing. How important is that when you see former players making that ladder, whether it's Trace or these other guys that are making? How valuable is that to the program when you see those guys? It's huge, right?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, Trace went out and finished 11th this week on the PGA Tour, and Andrew Kozan shot 63, I think, yesterday in the final round of the Korn Ferry event, and just having guys out there competing and getting young talent out there too. And we got some guys sitting in that locker room that are going to play on the PGA Tour. They're going to be some rich dudes.
Yeah, you're like, hey, tag on. I'm gonna hang on to you.
I think just keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna make a lot of cash.
When you look at the, and we've talked to other coaches about this and other people, but when you look at the top of this thing from President Roberts to John Cohen, you've been around through three athletic directors.
I'm getting old. You saying I'm getting old?
No, because I've been here longer than you have. But do you feel it, and do you sense it inside everybody pulling in the same direction, maybe better than it's been here in a long time?
Listen, we are aligned the best we've ever been aligned. And I mean, it starts at the top. It starts at Sanford Hall, starts with President Roberts. And what a great human being he is. Down to earth, approachable, humble, loves Auburn. And he's going to do wonderful things for this university. And then John Cohen coming in. He's a leader. He's a former coach. He knows he gets it. He knows it's hard. He knows it's hard to win, and it's a tough league. And I just love the alignment that we're in now. It just for me, that's what Auburn needs. And I think we had a bright future ahead of us on the Plains.
You mentioned former coach. Talk about your staff, because you've got the one to the other, but talent.
Got the young guy and the old guy.
That's it. But you have a different. And how beneficial has it been? Obviously.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, Chris Williams, 4-time All-American, former #1 player in the world that people may not even know for over a year.
Yeah.
Walker Cupper. I mean, he was the cream of the crop. And he's played in the U.S. Opens. He's played in multiple PGA Tour events, and he just had to come back and coach. And then you have Buddy Alexander, right? I mean, he's head coach of Florida for 27 years. I think he's coached like 50 dudes on the PGA Tour, and one of his guys just won yesterday in Billy Horschel, and his son's on the PGA Tour too. So what a wealth of knowledge and wisdom to share, to these young guys.
Give people a look inside the ropes in a tournament setting, because there may be a lot of people that they're used to watching PGA Tour events. But for you guys, it's a different story, because those guys, their coaches are with them on the range, and then when it's done, it's them and their caddy.
That's right.
For you, it's a very different story, isn't it?
Yeah, we have 5 guys. We'll be out there and competing. It's busy. I'll say that it's busy, from just making sure they're eating the right way, and especially for they're teenagers, right?
Yes.
It's not just chicken tenders and fries, but eating the right way and warming up the right way and practicing, staying hydrated, and we're out there. So Chris and I we only have 2 coaches that are allowed to coach. And that's it. So one guy will go with one guy, and then I'll go with another guy. We typically walk with most of the younger guys, the guys that are seniors and stuff like that. They know their deal. They're getting ready for professional golf too, and we kind of let them run. But the biggest thing I think right now, this time of year, is kind of staying out of their way. Yeah, they've learned how to practice. They know how to compete, and less is more too.
Yeah, and you hear scoreboard watching.
I got a lot of guys that do it.
I guess
it depends on the player.
Correct, that's right.
It does. Like Valdez won last week, and he didn't look at the scoreboard at all. We were on the 53rd hole, and we played 54 holes, and he had no idea. But he knew it was close, because JM just made eagle and was celebrating up there on 17 green, and he knew he had to do something special to come in and win. But he ended up tying JM for the title. But Jackson Coyven looks at the leaderboard all the time. I'm like, just put that and I'm not that big, and I'm like, good golf takes care of all that. But every player's different. They like to know where they stand. There's other guys that are like, don't even tell me. Yeah. So you just ask them, hey, do you want to know where you're at? Come in the final 9 holes, and some guys want to know, some guys don't. So it just depends. Yeah, and I guess it's the same way even for coaching when you're thinking about guys. What am I going to do about it? Well, even in what, hey guys, hey, he's good, leave him alone, or hey, let's tweak it a little something. It all depends on the individual. Well, I think you got to know their personalities. right? You got to know what makes them tick. You got to know how to motivate them. You got to know how to speak to them, how to talk to them. There's some guys you got to give them a hug and tell them you love them, and there's other guys that you can push and challenge. But it's all based on personalities, and that's what comes to coaching. And that's what what I've learned in coaching a lot, and I've changed over the years is you coach them all differently.
Yeah.
Because you have to, because they come from different homes and different environments, and they're all different human beings. And if you coach them differently, I think you can get the most out of them too.
How is it to put a team together in a sport where they've been individual most of their lives?
Well, you just preach about the team. You preach about the brand, right? You're playing for this, and that's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than the team, and they play for each other too. And I think they can play individual golf for the next 35 years of their life, unless they're good enough to be on a Walker Cup team or the Palmer Cup team or the Ryder Cup team. This is it. This is it for people pulling for you outside of your significant other and your agent,
yes,
and your parents. I mean, I think that's what makes team golf so special. They're all together, they're competing together, but they're also they're pushing each other, but they're pulling for each other too.
Yeah.
And I think for us, I think that's huge. We don't have a lot of personal agendas. I'll say that, and I think that's why we've had so much success. Getting to the national championship is because of that reason.
Yeah, when you have guys come back that have gone to, do they always talk about that? Going, man, that was the best time I had because of that.
Absolutely, and that's what you want. You listen, when you recruit them and you get them here, like you want them to have the greatest experience of their lives. So when they look back on that, and they say, man, I'd love to do that all over again. I'd love to.
Yeah. Because
Auburn was special. They treated me the right way. They treated me like an adult. They treated me like an athlete. They cared for me. And care is a magical word, and they loved on me, and they helped me progress not only as a person but also as a golfer, And I think that's the most satisfying thing as a coach, because at the end of the day, listen, we all get caught up in wins and losses, right? Nobody wants to win more than us.
Yes.
Nobody does. But at the end of the day, that's not really why you coach. You coach because you're making you're making a difference in a young person's life. You're helping develop them.
Yep. And you say now you get to this point where wins and losses become.
They do matter.
They do.
They do matter.
What do you do now in terms of you just go, hey, you're prepared, you're there, just go play like you said.
Let's go win a championship. Let's go win a ring. But I tell you what, if you play uptight and you try too hard in our sport,
not happening.
You can't dive for the loose ball.
Not happening.
You can't jump a little higher. You got to just relax and go play. Just do your thing. Be the best version of you. And that'll make the team do very fine. They'll do great.
Yep. And when you've won 4 in a row heading in, that allows you to say, hey, look, you don't have to do anything different,
Just
right?
do what you're doing. And look at our track record. I mean, look at over the last decade too. I mean, we've had so much success, and we need to play a little bit better at Sea Island, though. I've told them that.
Yeah.
I said, listen, the last 3 years, this group, it's a new team this year, though. We got young guys, but this team hasn't played very well on that golf course. The team previously to that had a ton of success there. We won, and we lost in the finals, and almost we probably should have won back to back. But that's still disappointing on that last one in 2019. But this team needs to. They know that, and they feel like they can play well there, and they know it, and they're looking forward to this week. I can promise you that.
Knowing what's ahead when you get to the NCAA tournament, NCAA championships, and match play, how valuable is that to make a run to get some of that match play?
Oh, it's huge. I think it's huge, especially when you get in at La Costa and you're San Diego and you've been there and done that, and this group has been so close to that too. 2 top 10 finishes in a row the last 2 years in the national championship, and we got a new venue this year though. Yeah. We'll be out in Carlsbad, and the weather will be fantastic, and the golf course is going to be a big boy course. It's going to be 75, 50, and you got to bomb it, and which we're good. We can drive the golf ball. We've got some dudes that can flat out hit it, and they're impressive to watch.
Well, good luck. We appreciate you sitting down with us, and
thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.